What up, everybody? It's Al the Pal 70, and I'm going to come at you with why we would use CSS variables in a website. So it's very simple. Let's start off. I'm at CodePen.io. That's what I use sometimes. There's other ones that have better versions, free versions. This has got also a paid version. So I'm pressing Shift 1 and Tab, and this gets us our very basic template with a body, a head, and that's it. I don't know why CodePen don't delete the doc type stuff. And the reason that it has an issue with it is because it's a website that already has the doc type status in it, or tag in it, or property, whatever it is, in it. So in the body, what we want to do is we want to put a button, and we're gonna give this button a class called theme changer. Okay. Oops. If you press tab, it does that for you. Inside this button, I want an H2. No, let's make it an H1, and let's put theme changer. Okay. So that's big, and that's great. As you can see here, I'm using SCSS, and I'll show you why in a second. And after the button, we're gonna do another H2. Oops, come on, H2, and we're gonna call it just for the info. I mean, it's just so you can see stuff inside there. Now, in SCSS, if I do something like I wanted to get the body, a lot of people will put body, right, and then they will put body theme dot theme changer like that, and then whatever else could be inside the theme changer, which could be the H1. So they want to put H1. Now they go to body theme changer H1, and then they do this, right? Well, SCSS makes that simple and actually writes that out for us and does a WebKit, like if necessary. But before we even do body, what's the first thing we do anywhere? And this is the same thing as VS Code. If you press P0 and press tab, it does that. M0, press tab, and then box sizing. I have to spell it out because, well, and then if you press B and tab, it does border box. That's what we want. So the first thing is body, and then we want to hit up the, I don't want to hit up the H1, but I could. But we're going to go to theme changer like this, right? And it's called nesting, and you're allowed to do that. And we're gonna hit up the H2 like this. And that's the main things we're gonna hit up. All right. Now, as you know, if you know anything about CSS, you can put background color. I like to do that word, and we're gonna say black. It's just for now, right? Black. So all that changes. Well, that's great. But if you wanted to change that and you had like 40 divs and they all had the same background color, that would suck. So one of the reasons that we use what they call variables, and this is how you create a variable. You go to roots and you name it whatever you want. Like most websites have like 3 primary colors or 3 colors that are considered like primary colors for the most part. So let's just make the first primary color black. This will be our doc theme. And then we call the second one. And we don't have to write color at all. It's just easier to understand when somebody else is reading your stuff. Excuse me. We're gonna call this gold. And then we're gonna call this color text. And we're gonna call it sky blue. Okay? Now this is how you create all this information. These are CSS variables. That's how you create them. So we could do the same thing. We have to put a variable that we're gonna call, and we're gonna call it primary, color primary like that. And then it'll go back to black. That's beautiful, right? We want this to be the color, and we want it to be sky blue. So we call it variable, and we go color, and let's put the text like that. And let's close this out so we'll have no errors, and then you see that changes colors. Now for the theme changer, I want the height to be at least 50 pixels. So if you type H at 50 and press tab, it knows how to put pixels. Pixels defaulted. But if you wanted to type something else, that's fine too. So like width, I'm gonna put 200. But if I put width like this and put like 2 rem, right? Then like 2 rem and I spell out rem, it'll spell it out for us too. So, and because I'm using this right here, and it's gonna give you the last thing that you use, so that's why it's messed up. So I want it to be big like that. I like that. All right. I also wanted to change colors. So let's go to background. Let's just copy this. Control C, Control V. I'm gonna do the same thing, Control V like that, and I'm gonna just make this a color, and that'll be a secondary color. Secondary, right? That should be gold. So nothing's gonna happen yet. Okay. In your JavaScript, which is gonna be very simple, we're gonna have 2 variables. All right. The first one is gonna be the theme changer. You gotta spell it right, and then you're gonna put equals document dot query selector, capital S, and we wanted to get theme changer, right? So we put a theme changer, right? You could put light theme or toggle theme or whatever you want to call it, but that's what I'm calling it. The second variable is going to put the body. The reason I'm calling it the body because that's what we're going to get. We're going to get the document's body. And that's basically what this is right here. So if I come over here and right click and go to inspect, you will see the title. There's no title, it's just document. You see the button, theme changer, and the body has nothing in it. Right, it's not doing nothing. So there's no class in it yet. So I'm trying to get at. So let's go to F12 and let's make that class in there. Okay, so we're gonna get theme changer, right? And we're gonna put dot add event listener. Alright, in this event listener, we want it to be a click event. We're going to make a arrow function, and in this arrow function, I'm used to C#, so I like to do that. So in this arrow function, all we're going to do is with the body, that class list, make sure you spell it correctly and with the proper casing, that is. And then in the class, we want to put the word toggle, and then we're going to put, we don't have to put that, we're going to call it light theme. Let's call it like that. Make it better. So it's if you're inside the editors and you press Control S, it saves it. If you're here and press Control S, it does all that. So we're not trying to save it. So let's go and let's inspect this one more time, so you can see what I'm talking about now. Okay, see, this is the thing. You see, it has doc type already, so it makes it mess up. So let's inspect right here, and let's go to this body right here. Now if I click theme changer, you see it says light theme. Okay, so one more thing I would like to add, I'll do it afterwards. One more thing I'm going to add afterwards. So nothing happened in the theme changer, right? That's because it says light theme, but we don't have a dot light theme, do we? So let's create that. Now what are we going to put in here? Exactly, everything that's here. These variables are created. Now we could change them here. Now you're so excited. It's going to be a light theme, so we're going to put this sky blue. Your secondary, we're going to put, because the toggle down. The secondary, we're going to put, gold, we'll just put, here, we'll just put it black right here. And your third, because you want your text to be seen, we're going to call it navy blue. And we press a theme changer and that works. Another thing you can add to this is a transition. I'm just going to call it trans and for transition, and we're going to call it all, and we're going to call it 2 seconds. That's long. And we're going to go ease in and out. That's so when it changes, easing out. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna copy and paste this one after we do it. Transition, that's wrong, transition. Now you see how it changed color. We're gonna call it a variable and trans like that. Go to the end and do this right here. Now we're gonna do this for everything that we made, so it could change the colors at the same time frame. So if we Control X that and we click this, you see it takes 2 seconds to change everything. There you go. And yeah, I don't know what colors look good on here, so we could like change the secondary to purple if you wanted to, and that would change to purple. And it takes 2 seconds to change to purple. But that's how you do it. That's basically what you would do. And I know everybody's like, oh, what about this? We just put a padding in the body of of 1 rem, and then that will make everything change over to there. I mean, it's not gonna keep changing. It just makes it like that. And not only did you get an understanding about this, so let me explain why this is important. So when you do like a dark theme, light theme for your website, that's what you have to do. You create a bunch of variables for that. Then on top of that, you could do like this like transition thing that I just did, right? And what that's gonna do for you or for everybody, like this is all good now. You shouldn't see any issues with that now. See, so what that does for you is like you can make 3 transitions, and one be like 3 seconds, one be like 1 second or 0.8 seconds or whatever, and do that, and you could have like a bunch of colors, one for certain themes, and then some for other themes of that nature. And that's pretty much it. That's all you'd have to do for that. And this is why you would use variables in your CSS. Thank you very much for paying attention. Have a great day. Pal 78.